Now, we are living in a very noisy world. However, at the same time, there are so many opportunities that we could pursue. And if you are ambitious, you probably want to take advantage of those opportunities. However, the main problem you and I face is doing the right things that move us closer to our goals. Because there are so many distractions and opinions on what to do, and if we are not careful, we find ourselves overwhelmed and burned out by doing too many things. In the past, this was a big problem for me, but luckily I found the concept of the one thing. Since then, I have been making continuous progress on my goals, and I was able to quit my 6-figure corporate job to focus on my career. That's why I want to share this powerful concept in depth with you so that you can maximize your productivity by doing the right things. In the book, Gary Keller shares how he started his real estate career, but in the beginning things were very hard. He could not balance his work life and personal life. He tried to do too many things which made him feel overwhelmed and unproductive. But one day he went to a seminar where the speaker encouraged him to focus on the most important task in order to achieve his goals. So this inspired Gary to apply this idea to his work and life. What's the one thing I can do such by doing it everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Through trial and error, Gary found out that by focusing on the most important task every day and eliminating distractions, he could achieve way more in less time. At the same time, he learned to take care of his health and relationships in order to live a fulfilling life. Now he's the co-founder of Keller Williams Realty, which is one of the largest real estate franchises of the world. Step number 1, identify your one thing. Now, in order to find your one thing that will move the needle in your life, you have to know your goal. It doesn't matter if you are not clear on your goals right now. Just pick something in the short term or long term. For me personally, right now, one of my goals is to build my personal brand and my business. Now, after you have picked your goal, you want to ask yourself this vital focusing question. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? This is the exact question that I have asked myself over and over again. When you are growing a business or a brand, for example, there are so many things you could do, and it's very hard to focus on the one thing. So I identified posting YouTube videos as my one thing, because posting YouTube videos is the highest leverage thing I can do right now to grow my online brand and business. So basically, a big chunk of my workday consists of scripting videos and recording videos. That's the needle mover for me right now. Posting YouTube videos has also many benefits that I tie into. For example, I learned public speaking, I learned to present my ideas, I learned to influence people. Let's say, for example, you want to grow your online brand by writing. So you could use Twitter as a platform, and then your one thing could be posting 3 tweets per day. Step number 2, break down your one thing. Now for me, for example, it is posting YouTube videos. But producing one YouTube video consists of many tasks. So what you want to do is to break down all tasks based on your knowledge. So if you are starting out, maybe you don't know exactly how long it will take to script the video, to record the video, to create a thumbnail, and so on. So what you want to do is to break down the task in incremental steps. And then you want to sequence those tasks throughout the week. This is how you get things done. Step number 3, time block your one thing. So after you have sequenced all the tasks of your one thing, you want to time block. Now, time blocking is a very effective productivity method. So essentially, you use your calendar, and ideally you want to block out time in your calendar for 3 to 4 hours. Now, of course, it depends on your situation. If you're working in a 9 to 5, maybe you can squeeze 1 to 2 hours before you go to work and 1 hour after work. Or if you are very busy, maybe only 1 hour of deep work. That's also enough, because over time you will get more things done and you will actually achieve your goals faster than you thought before. Now, to make it more practical, right now, for example, on Mondays, I do my scripting. I try to script 3 to 4 YouTube videos, and then on Tuesday, I try to record 3 to 4 YouTube videos. Now, this doesn't happen always. We are not here to make things perfect, but if you time block, if you use time blocking, you will see that you get much more done and you are much more focused. And then on Wednesday, I do some admin tasks that are necessary to produce the videos. For example, I have a video editor that is editing my videos. I review the first edits and the second edits, and I give feedback, and then I write a description and I create the thumbnails. Step number 4, protect your one thing. What I mean by that is you want to protect your time when you're doing your most important work, your one thing. Because the reality is this, sometimes we can get distracted by other people or notification and other distractions for like social media. So before you even do your one thing, you want to think about how you can minimize all distractions. Personally, what I do is I make sure that no one is around calm when I'm doing my one thing. When I record my videos, I make sure that the room is quiet. When I script my videos, I make sure that there's no noise and also my environment is clean. What I mean by that is my desk is clean. There are no phones, there are no devices that could distract me. When I have to research for video topics, I don't have any notification. There's no Slack, there's no WhatsApp, and I make sure that I have at least 3 hours of deep work in to focus on my one thing. And doing that has really skyrocketed my productivity. So I highly urge you to design your environment beforehand to minimize distractions. Step number 5, focus on your one thing. Easier said than done. When you are doing your one thing, just focus on the one thing and nothing else. Don't multitask, resist all urges. I know this can be very hard. Sometimes I find myself distracted and out of the flow. This is normal. This can happen. No need to shame yourself. But you want to really focus on the one thing, and ideally you want to have 1.5 hours of a deep work session where you're working on your one thing, and then you take 30 minutes breaks. This is what works very well for me. But you can also do 1 hour and then 10-minute break. But the most important thing is to resist all the urges. You will be tempted to click on a YouTube video or a social media post. You will be tempted to do things that might be important because you rationalize to yourself, this is more important than the one thing. Don't do anything else. Focus on the one thing. This will build incredible discipline and focus because we are living in a very distracted world and it is getting harder and harder to focus because we have so much stimulation. This is how you get things done. When you do this consistently, what will happen is you get so much more done while working less. Now, for example, when I'm on a good streak, like for example from January to February, I was very productive. I only worked 4 hours a day and I could get in those 4 hours like 2 to 3 videos recorded. So make sure you complete your one thing before you do anything else. Resist all urges. Step number 6, course correct. Now, if you want to produce at a higher level while working less, we have to review our progress. Because the truth is this, what gets measured gets achieved. So personally, what I do is something called a performance tracker. I track my performance, in other words, my task, in order to hold myself accountable and also see my progress. Because when we can see our progress, it will increase our motivation and we have much more focus because we know exactly what to do, how we have done it, and then we can move forward. Now, by tracking your progress, you will also see some flaws in your productivity. For example, in my YouTube journey, I miscalculated many tasks. Like scripting, in the beginning, I didn't have much experience in scripting videos. So researching and sequencing the steps in the videos and creating compelling arguments took me way longer than expected. So this is what I mean by course correction. When you track your progress, you see all those things and you can optimize your workflow. Because the reality is this, things will take longer than expected. Especially if we are ambitious people, we have big goals and sometimes we underestimate the task and this causes us to feel overwhelmed and not progressing. Step number 7, make it a habit. Make it a habit to focus on your one thing each day. Each day you want to start with your one thing if possible. If your schedule allows it, do your one thing first thing in the morning. When you complete your one thing, then go about your day-to-day and do the other shallow work. Now I know this is easier said than done, but train yourself to really focus on your one thing and simplify your life around that one thing. So to make it even more practical, I know some of you guys don't have the luxury to work full-time on your business or side hustle. You have a 9-to-5 job. When I was in my 9-to-5 job, I couldn't focus every day on my one thing. So I scheduled my days so that I could have at least 3 to 4 days of focusing on my one thing. Because we get it, life gets busy, depending on your situation, you don't have a lot of time. Also, what I want to emphasize is your one thing could change. Your goals could change. Maybe one time you achieve your goals and then you are on a new level, on a higher level, and then another high leverage activity could be your new one thing. But I recommend you to focus on your one thing and see it all the way through completion for a short period. And then you can reevaluate and see if that one thing is still the one thing. And whenever you are in doubt, ask yourself, what's the one thing I can do such by doing it everything else will be easier or unnecessary? This focusing question will be your friend on your journey to creating the life that you want. Now, talking about focus, I put together a very tactical, comprehensive, in-depth video about deep work, how you can use deep work to really achieve more in your life while working less and also having time for your health, relationships and fun and all the things. So I will see you in this video next. If you found this video valuable, let me know in the comment section below your thoughts, like, comment, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I post a video.